Get it going? I don't think we're going
You
to.
can paraphrase if you wish.
Yeah, I'm better at reading it. See every other word. We're going to go ahead and move this, get the meeting going, and get it over with if we can, if that doesn't insult anybody. Good evening and welcome to this evening's, or should a guy go through the whole thing, or is that necessary?
It's up to you. Mark's heard it, I've heard it, everybody here's heard it.
Basically, then we're going to follow the past practices, and if somebody comes out of order from those, we'll probably stop and correct it at the time. I suppose it only makes sense to have our cell phones off, and we'll go on it from there. Have the staff report, or call the meeting to order, I suppose, first. Okay, anybody out here that wants to be heard? Mark, you don't have anything other than this, do you? No. Approval of the minutes from the prior meeting, August 7th. I looked through them and I didn't see anything that struck my memory as off from that.
I have a change. Where are they? Holy cow. I was just looking at it a minute ago. I have to look at that. There we go. It's on page 7. Underneath staff recommendations, the second paragraph, the first sentence where it says Dwight added according to FEMA drainage law, that's not correct. FEMA doesn't have any drainage laws. It'd be the Iowa, state of Iowa drainage laws, not FEMA drainage laws. And
Just replace FEMA with state of Iowa.
no, Dwight Burholm added according to, take FEMA out and add the Iowa drainage laws.
Okay.
The property owner must accept water drainage, but can't do grading to change. And that's making reference to Department of Natural Resources, DNR, that last statement, but can't do grading to change the creek or the creek alignment. That's according to DNR. So if you might want to say parent DNR, close parent, or something like that, all in caps.
Got her all done? All right. Any other corrections?
Can't do grading to change per DNR regulation.
But can't do grading to change. Yeah.
We just add per DNR.
Well, DNR enforces Corps of Engineers regulations on water channels, so they're responsible in each state, or the state of Iowa, at least for enforcing it.
All right, I think I got an idea what you want to do. I don't have any objection to that.
Any other corrections?
No, sir.
Any motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve with the corrections.
So I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve last month's agenda with the corrections that were stated. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Same sign. Looks like the ayes have it, so we'll move to agenda item number 3, a public hearing of the approval of a conditional use permit application in reference to the staging and operation of earthen barrow extraction for the property owner Randy and Ronnie Hunt Partnership and applicant Woodbury County, Iowa, within the portion of the southeast quarter of Section 31 of West Fork Township, GIS parcel number 8745314000011.
I'm going to paraphrase through all your narrative provided you by mail maybe about 10 days ago. Preface my comments with the fact that we have previously, your board has previously issued a conditional use permit for within almost identical ground within this parcel approximately a little over a year ago in July of 2016 for the then removal of 20,000 cubic yards for a bridge replacement project to the west of the Barrow site. keep that in mind as we go through tonight's proceeding.
And that was Woodbury County and Hunts together, correct? That one I remember when we did.
No, that was the same owners.
The trucking,
Hunt
it was a
Partnership,
trucking company.
And I think it was the general contractor, maybe a subcontractor called Ollie Brown
Okay,
Construction. But it was for a county bridge project.
okay.
We received a permit from those two entities that I've above referenced regarding this project, which is now pertains to earthen grading and earthen material removal for the county's 280th Street realignment project. Again, to stage and operate temporary earthen borrow facility on this parcel. The application requests the removal of 20,000 cubic yards of soil from the site. All grading and excavation operations related to the borrow will be in an approximate 4.5 acre portion of this 18 acre parcel. The intent is to use the borrow for other county right-of-way projects within nearby 180th Street, 190th Street, and Old Highway 141 right-of-way. The applicant reserves the right that should excess borrow material remain, and that's should. The applicant requests the flexibility to transport to other public right-of-way locations or to provide excess borrow to the public through June 30th of 2018. It is anticipated grading, excavation, and soil operations will commence immediately upon permit approval, with the borrow site being decommissioned no later than June 30th of 18. It comes as no surprise to you that our land use summary table requires your board issue a conditional use permit whenever borrow pits or its materials are involved. As we go through the conditions, or excuse me, the standards, if we do them independently, be aware the first standard is met because the property, the parcel is zoned ag preservation, which does support the applied for use. Average corn suitability rating for the parcel, the entire 17 acres is 40.62, well within standards for the use. Obviously, you're aware that this process requires the public hearing. You'll close the hearing, and then we'll deliberate on the standards to any degree you wish. The zoning commission reviewed this application on August 28th of 17. They found, and I'll kind of paraphrase a copy of the letter that you were provided in the packet, which has now been signed by the chair of the zoning commission, and we passed out a copy of the signed letter to you tonight. Basically, the zoning commission felt that each of the standards can be met. When we get to a staff recommendation, you'll also find that the staff concurs with that recommendation. When the zoning commission did their deliberations, they felt that they wanted to recommend at least one condition be placed upon the application should the permit be approved, and that is as follows. Any conditional use permit issued should include the county's secondary road department having the ability to place any signage at the site or within public right-of-way that department deems best protects the health, safety, and general welfare of the public traveling county roadways. That exact language is within the recommendation letter from the chair of the zoning commission. In your packet, you found a number of documents labeled A through M. The ones maybe I want to point out is the application that was completed by Ben Kuzler of Secondary Roads Department. It answers each of the standards, the questions that you're evaluating within the standards. We've got realignment drawing, elevation information, and a certain number of information regarding zoning layers, soil types, those types of things. I'll be happy to address any of those items A through M, should you want further clarification. There's also a large number of photographs taken from the site within the last 30 days. Again, our staff recommendation concurs with the zoning commission that the section 2.02-9F standards can be met. And we recommend the conditional use permit be approved and include the roadway safety condition recommended by the zoning commission. Your board is tasked with holding a public hearing, deliberating, and voting on approval of the conditional use permit application. Staff be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anybody have any questions of staff or Mark?
I was just gonna ask, where it says on here, nearby 180th Street, should that be 280th?
It should be, that's an
Yeah.
error, yeah,
That's-
that's a typo.
That would be 10 miles away or whatever.
That's
That
a long
would
one.
not be nearby
Yeah,
then.
let me
Yeah.
get, what page is that on?
That's on page 2,
Page 2.
280th and
We'll correct that.
290th.
Eagle Eye
Do I
catches
have
all
the same
those.
thing, do I have 190th?
Yeah.
Or do I have 190th?
Yeah, you read it that way. That was right at the very beginning, the very first
All right,
page.
got it, thank you. We'll correct that. Mark, you should jump down my throat on that one. Okay. I wish I could say I was just testing you, but that's not true.
And John had said we've done this once before for the same property. I don't know if anybody have any.
You
Were
wanna go
were
through
you involved
each
with this the
standard?
last time? Were you involved with this on the last time we did this property? They did a county road, 280th, replaced a bridge, and the approaches for that, they needed soil. Yeah, and it was like a mile and a half away. It wasn't very far. Yeah.
To the west.
Yeah, the bridge was to the west of there, yeah, on 280th.
We had an old truss bridge on that road that we took out and replaced with a new slab bridge. And it did require some additional borrowing to new elevations.
I don't believe we had any concerned citizens on that one. I mean, the Hunts were here for that one.
Holly Brown was here.
Is that the construction representative?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
We've had a lot of support from area residents with relocation of the intersection. At the current intersection at 280 Old Highway 141, site distance is extremely short to the north and it bends around a curve. It's less than 350 feet of site distance for stopping site, which is the way we evaluate whether to put a driveway or a road in place. The new location will align with 280 going west, much closer, and site distance there will almost be 1,000 feet.
It had a farmer from that area that gets onto that road with the truck regular, and he said you just gotta decide to pull out because you're,
Go and pray.
yeah, yeah.
So-
And in this case, the owner is aware of that, and one of the reasons they've approached us with this.
The property on the north side of that road, now that we go to Jordaning, or is that gonna hold on to the county gonna hold on to that, the old easement?
We'd like to probably vacate that and vacate the old roadbed when it's finished. We're currently researching the property from which that road, 280th Street current, was originally severed, so we can determine where that 66 feet of right-of-way easement goes when we do the vacation.
Some of it may be Hunts anyhow, then I suppose.
It may go, but it may all be from Hunts. It all
Okay.
depends on from where that property was severed. And we've got our GIS technician in doing that research.
Are they interested in that little triangle piece that'll be created, or have they?
It's my assumption they would be. If once vacated, it would go back to them anyway, so then they would have the option to do with it as they will. One of the reasons we need to get rid of that 20,000 yards is we're cutting through a fairly good sized hill. As you know, if you've driven out there and looked at the pictures,
It's not as big as it was a while ago.
no, it isn't quite as big as it was a while ago, but there's still more earth than we can accommodate within the design road right away.
And there were some statements to using it on other county sites, but if you were going to considering opening it up to the public, for lack of a better word, for sale, or?
If we have excess material, we've got some areas on 240th Street, 252nd Street. We want to do along Old 141 some drop inlets and culvert extensions. So we're going to use a good amount of material on secondary road projects in that area. We're extending that. If you've driven Old Highway 141,
Mhm.
you know how many places you drop off the face of the
Yeah,
dirt.
there's a lot of, yeah, there's not enough dirt there to fix it all.
Yeah, we're trying to improve some of those areas, and this is a very close site for us to utilize.
Is the timeline that you mentioned on there, is that long enough to get that done, or if you,
June next year, yes, that should be enough to get it done.
Your comments about daylighting were, I assume that, I couldn't tell by looking at the contours here, but guessing by the pipe, maybe you opened it up, but your daylighting for the new road then is more than adequate in both directions?
Yes.
Okay.
South site distance was already very good, even at the existing location. It's the north that we're trying to pull farther away from that curve and the high bank.
The high ground that you're gonna leave as you come on that relocated road to the right, is that material that you're gonna use for other things? Is that what?
That's,
It's
and
in,
as we cut through that bank, that'll be the material we're looking to use. We'll also
in other
probably-
places?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause you won't be, the intent is not to, but you don't have a final grading plan of this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This material right in here, it's gonna be left in place.
Some of it will be, we'll probably flatten it off. We're gonna be filling in this area here where the road bed was.
Cause that won't be very usable
Unless it's flattened off.
Right.
And,
Okay.
right. But we do need, you can see we've got a fill area identified there on top of that old road bed. So we'll
Okay.
try to make it blend.
Good.
Most of the time when we get rid of a road, we do obliterate it and, try and restore it so that it can be used for farming or
Okay.
whatever other purpose, are we looking.
Okay. The only other question I had on this sheet, might be elsewhere, that's not right.
No, that isn't.
That, if you're gonna make reference to the old, well, 982 is what we had, that was our designation when we relocated 141. But that should be whatever the, I can't remember the county road number,
K45.
K45.
We'll make that change in the final plan set.
Okay. So, that was pretty big enough, so that's all I was worried about. I was really concerned about this, how that was gonna get one. Okay. Any other questions?
Would you like to go through the standards independently? Whenever we have public improvement projects like this, many of the standards are tied to benefit versus impact. And roadway projects seem to take very high priority in providing for the public good, spreading that good
It's gonna
countywide.
improve the safety of the connection.
by nature of the project, is gonna hit that. By that, you mean other than the signage?
Well, the signage, we haven't talked about haul routes, that type of thing, but you got north-south on cement virtually immediately.
You had your haul routes highlighted, and they pretty much so lead you, you're on pavement, so you're pretty much so there.
Well, you have access east and north-south on pavement, and then obviously to the west and east, as
Do
you
you-
travel north and south on 141.
You probably don't foresee going east with any of it.
Well, actually, 252nd is north and then east, but.
You'll be
we're
off
gonna
pavement.
Hauling it directly to the road we're working on. Again, what we're trying to do in some of these areas is where we have steep drop-offs, short culverts, extend culverts, rebuild those road grades and get them in better, safer condition than what they're in right now, so.
Although 20,000 cubic yards sounds like a lot of dirt in the scheme of things, based on past applications anyway. It's a drop in the bucket.
No, I just,
It's
Had
going to
350 of them hauled in one little
allow for
spot.
defense.
I assume all the places where you're gonna use it, you will have erosion control and everything when you.
We do that, wattles or something to help prevent the water from going through, and then immediate reseeding and mulching.
Right.
so adding any stipulations, is, anybody have anything in mind other than the signage and erosion control, but that's gonna be covered, permits are gonna be covered.
Well, on all
The SIP,
the erosion control on this project, and then you might wanna mention on the other areas where the dirt is gonna be positive erosion control would also be.
Every site that's been
that will receive.
expressed in the application and here tonight is within county roadway right-of-way.
It does
And that's what they're gonna be
No, I
doing is
know that,
erosion
but-
control.
But my office has no jurisdiction there
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Well, it should say proper erosion control.
If you want to put that condition on the permit, you can
Where you
certainly do it.
deposit that excess material, yeah. I'm sure it's gonna happen, but, yeah, you can put it in.
Okay.
Because it's gonna end up on private property eventually if you have a rain, you know.
And most of that dirt you're using for erosion control anyhow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Once we get it there, we're going to stick it in place, so.
Well, I thought if you flatten slopes or something like that, you know. If you were gonna flatten these slopes or,
We are flattening some slopes,
Okay.
yes, so we'll be reseeding, we typically use wattles instead of the, silt fence, because we can install those with our own staff. We've been doing much.
Without any doubt, I know it's gonna be taken care of, but just ask the question in case I'm asked. With roadway access to the Jordaning place, which is on the north, that won't be a problem. I mean, you maintain that all the way through.
We
and-
extend their driveway and we'll be making efforts every night to make sure that they can get in and out.
Yeah, like I said,
That's standard operating practice when we do a project where our house is in the middle.
makes sense. And like I say, just to make sure it doesn't look like we rubber stamped it, if we put something in there for dust control, if there's a complaint,
If there is a concern.
that, you know,
Typically, we use a water truck supplied by the contractor doing that as their, of course, is moving that dirt.
you guys will be doing all your own dirt moving, hauling the county to haul itself,
We're
or?
running into a contract
Okay.
for the actual 280th Street construction. The areas where we're getting rid of the excess material, there we'll be hauling it to our own roads. Primarily, we might do some contract trucks.
Okay.
Site dumps are nice, and there are, especially when you're working alongside the road, you can put the dirt right where you are, a lot less maneuvering than with a dump truck. And,
Half as many hauls.
well, that's a benefit too, but, you know, again, it reduces our occupation time on top of the road, especially when we're working on 141.
When we get to a motion, I'll be glad to recap everything we discussed on conditions.
Anybody else have any conditions that they're interested in? They're happy? Tom? I think we'd look for a motion to approve. And
because it'll be approved.
we have a motion, and Tom has a second. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Can I just recap these, just so I make sure we get these down right? We'll use the same language in the zoning commission recommendation on the signage, okay? Second condition would be standard erosion control protocols be followed. And 3, all fugitive dust controls, both on-site and along each haul route, will be in place. Is that fair enough?
With those stipulations as stated. And then we had all those in favor
Aye.
and opposed, same sign. The ayes carry it.
4-0. Great.
Okay.
I asked my question as well. I didn't want to get it out when everything was here. Or if we had a crowd. Those are the questions that was worried about. You know,
Appreciate you taking the time to come and do this, Mark. You know, it's,
No problem, it's an important project for us.
well,
Well, I can see where I wish I had known you had that other bridge out. That's a slab bridge that you took out, right, just south of D38.
Yes, and it'll be a new slab bridge going in 100 by 30,
It'll be a little higher.
a little bit.
it's
yes.
probably getting pretty close, isn't it?
They've got the substructure piling all driven, they've got most of their false roof piling down on. They should be starting to form in the next couple of weeks. Plus, we have the grading work done on the north side of the road, we're just waiting for the paper to come in. No additional work will be done on the north side other than paving at this point. So we'll get it paved, ready to go, get the bridge poured, then they'll come in and finish the south side.
And then the water will go under the
They're
bridge.
on schedule for hitting their mid-October deadline, so.
Good. Job well done.
But it's not a good contractor. They'll stay right on.
Is there a ditch clean up too? That's a drainage ditch, right?
No, that is not a dumps into the Garrettson.
Okay, what's the name of the creek?
That's Whiskey Creek.
Whiskey Creek, okay.
Now, it becomes Garrettson as soon as it crosses the road. But up to that point, it's still Whiskey Creek.
We had some problems when we had
Oh, we,
We have more to do?
we're assuming, we're,
And
go-
we couldn't correct the overtop pump because of the permit on the Garrettson Bridge, or the Garrettson Ditch Bridge on D 38. It calls for filtered overflow in that location.
we're gonna finish this up, Dwight, if we can. There's no other citizens need to be heard, and then we have commission. Anybody have any inquiries or comments for staff, Mark, Mike?
Anything going on you know about?
All right, so with that, look for a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Well, motion carries.
Next meeting is
Perfect.
Monday, October 2nd. We got a full
Thanks
plate.
again, Mark.
Thank you.
We have a full plate.
Full plate.